Welcome to the Mindful Making podcast. This is a video podcast mostly about knitting, and knitting is my mindfulness practice. That is where I recharge, that's where I feel grounded, so I knit a lot. Thank you for stopping by again. If you're a returning viewer, I'm so happy that you again prioritize and choose to spend your time with me. If you're a new viewer, welcome. It's so good to have you here. Please let me know where you find this podcast. I'm truly interested about sort of what are the movements and the signals out there that you find this little corner of the internet. So welcome. Today it is the 4th of July 2021. We are in the middle of winter here in Sydney, Australia. We are currently in a COVID lockdown, so we are just spending more time at home. It's actually school holidays, which is a pity for, tourist industry and for our school children that we can't get away on a holiday. We didn't have anything planned, so for us, well, it didn't matter that much that we would have to stay at home. I work from home, so it's not a massive change for me. But hopefully the lockdown will end by the end of this week, so on the 9th of July. If you can hear noise in the background, it's just the coffee grinder going. So my name is Jane. I am Danish. I live in Hornsby Heights, which is a suburb north of Sydney. And I am a knitter, and I try to design a few designs once in a while. Last time we talked about the rose hip shawl, which was a design I released in June. Thank you so much for all the positive response to the rose hip shawl. If you haven't seen it already, I'll just put a picture up here so you can see it, and you can hear all about it in the previous episode. So tune into that if you are interested in knowing more about the yarn and the process and the construction. So that would be then in episode 29, and this episode is number 30. Who would have believed that we've gone this far? 30 episodes. So I hope you'll enjoy it, and stay tuned towards the end, because we need to celebrate this anniversary or this milestone. So I will announce a little giveaway towards the end of this episode. What I also have for you today is 3 sort of finished objects and things that I plan to put on my needles, because I literally finished one object last night, 4 a.m. We were up watching the Danish soccer team play the quarterfinals, and they won. So it was a huge night. So it was had to sleep in this morning. So we are following on the soccer European Championships from here, but we have to watch the games during the night time. So my son, luckily it's a school holiday, so he watched basically all games and sleep all day. But luckily he doesn't have to go to school, so that's excellent. I hope you have a cup of tea or a coffee. I'm using the kids' Pokemon cup, Pikachu here. We have a few of these, which is my son's favorite coffee cup. I have tea today. It's 1:45 in the afternoon, so it's tea for me. You can find me on the internet as Mindful Making on Instagram. That's where I'm mostly active. I also have a Facebook page of that name. On Ravelry, I'm Mindful Making AU, which is also the name of an Etsy shop. In the Etsy shop, you can find the knitting patterns, and of course you can find them on Ravelry as well. And on the Etsy shop, I sometimes release or do a shop update with a few of project bags that I have sewn, and I will show you an example of that today as well. So I hope you are comfortable, have your project with you, and that you will enjoy the next half hour or so in my company. So let's get started and move into the finished objects. The first finished object is the one that I'm wearing. So this is a new design of mine. I worked on it on the last episode. It's a vest or slipover. It is worked in merino possum, which was kindly gifted to me. So this is a commercial, nice, kindly gifted to me by Louis and Lola yarns. The color is ruby, and it's an 80% merino and then 20% possum fur, I think. It is a textured pattern with slip stitches running up in a reverse stockinette base. And I will just stand up, the awkward position of standing up. So it is sort of waist length and a split hem and a twisted rib, 1 by 1. And I am working on writing up the pattern. So hopefully it will be ready for testing within a couple of weeks or during the month of July for sure. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll send out further information if you want to be on the on testing this vest. Would you call it a vest or a slipover? I'm just thinking whether a vest has buttons. And then the next thing is to find a name. That's always tricky, to find a good name of new designs. This I call it a vest, is worked bottom up in the round to the sleeves, and then back and forth. Not for the sleeves, for splitting for armholes, and then adding the trim and neckline at the end. It's nice and warm and cozy, and it actually works really well, just giving that body warmth that you need, and just wearing with a a shirt or a long sleeved t-shirt type. I often wear these merino t-shirts during winter, so it will work with that as well. In summer or maybe in spring, it could be used on its own. I haven't worn, it's very soft and squishy, this yarn, but I haven't worn it directly to the skin. I don't know how comfortable that is, but for sure it's nice, warm, with just a layer or camisole underneath. I think in the last episode I was a bit worried that whether I would have enough yarn. I had 2 skeins, and I think they are 360 meters skein, and I did have enough, so I have this much left. It's a beautiful grey, soft pink brown color. I can highly recommend the yarn and the color. I think it's beautiful. So stay tuned for more information on this vest, and if you have any suggestions for name, put them in the comments below, or send me a direct message, probably on Instagram. That's where I am most active and where I am the most often, so I'll get it. I finished this. I've noted here how much yarn I've used. Oh yeah, this is the label, Louis and Lola. It is 80% merino, 20% possum fur, and the color is called Ruby. So I have used 650 meters for this vest, and the gauge is 23 stitches and 34 rows. Needles are 3.75, which is I think a US 5. Yeah, finished it 18th of June. So that's been ready for a while. But let's move on to the next finished object. And as I said, it was just finished last night, 4 a.m. And it is here. So this is one of my bags that I talked about in the beginning, that I sew once in a while, and these are stamps from my grandmother. So this is a completed sweater in here. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen pictures, progress updates of this sweater during the last couple of weeks. So it is the Colourwork sweater, Koivua. It's designed by Caitlin Hunter. Beautiful color work and mixed up with textured single color sections. The sleeves are balloon shaped, I think, and then finishing off with an I-cord bind off. And as you can see, the ends are not weaved in yet, so that is something that I will do tonight. And then it also need a soak and a block. I will also wear it next time so you can see how it fits. I have tried it on and it looks gorgeous. I have used the Coast yarn from Holst Garn. It's a 55% wool, 45% cotton. So 55 merino wool and 45 cotton. The main color is called Skylight, and the contrast color is Lead. I have made size medium. The single color sections are worked on a 4.0 millimeter needle, which is a US 6-7. It's a US 6, and then I've worked the color work on a 4.5 millimeter needle. And you know, I think going up a size for the color work just makes the fabric nice and somewhat flexible. It's not as flexible and stretchy as the single color sections naturally, but I think the result is even, and you can't see sort of major differences in gauge when moving from stranded color work sections into where you use just the single color. I'm looking very much forward to start wearing this. I loved this project. Really loved it. And last weekend, when we got the announcement of the lockdown, I basically sat up here in this exact spot knitting the entire weekend and not doing anything else basically. So I've done this pretty quickly. I started this on the 22nd of June and today is the 4th of July. So 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks to knit this jumper. I haven't actually weighed it yet, how much yarn I've used. When I'm editing this video, I'll put in down below here how many grams total I have used for the sweater, and it's probably 2/3 would be of the main color, and then 1/3 of the contrast. So I don't know exactly how much I've used of each color. I have started a project page on Ravelry, and I will ensure that that is finished with those details before this podcast go live. That was the Coivra, designed by Caitlin Hunter at Balle Knitworks, and the yarn is the Coast yarn from Holst Garn. I got a question from one of you Australian viewers asking where I buy the Holst Garn. Well, I buy it from Denmark and I get it sent out here. And when I buy some yarn, so it's worthwhile, the postage. So I think last time I bought 4.5 kilos of yarn. So I buy the cones. So I have plenty. But I really enjoy both the Coast yarn and the Super Soft, which is a 100% wool. There's just so many colors to choose from, and the price point is good. It's not a super expensive yarn, but not, you know, cheap. So it's sort of mid-range. When you then buy a full cone, you have 500 grams, so that's enough for 2 jumpers. Especially, of course, if you knit with 1 strand. What I've just sorry for jumping around. This is worked with the yarn held double. And I think it will be nice and warm, but not super duper, you know, warm because of the cotton in here. So we have a bit of afternoon sun coming in here to just shine on this finished object. So that was finished object number 2. Then during the month, I had a week or 1.5 where sort of my motivation and confidence in calculating designs and sizes and knitting overall sort of dipped, and I felt a bit restless of the project that I should work on. So sort of in between projects, I just did a few dishcloths, and as you can see, the sun will just maybe make the color more grayish than it is. They are black. Ends still needs to be woven in, but it is regular garter ridges, garter stitches, 52 stitches, and then work garter until you get a square. And for measuring the square, I basically just measure, you know, folding it like a triangle, and when you reach the side and you get a nice triangle, it's a square, and I bind off. So I have done 2 of these are finished, and I have the 3rd one almost done. So see here, not much left. Oops. Ooh. So just a few rows more. I have this sort of a dishcloth on the needles always, and it's just something that I can pick up when, for instance, it sits next to me at my work computer, and I can just pick it up and secretly knit a row or 2 while in meetings. The yarn is a cotton yarn. It's Spotlight yarn. It's an 8-ply. I think it's called Finders. 4 Seasons Finders, 8-ply cotton. 4 Seasons, no, Flinders, sorry. 4 Seasons Flinders cotton, 8-ply. It's currently on sale, so it's $2.25, I think, and you get 1.25 dishcloth from one ball of 50 gram. It's 150 meters per 50 gram. I have knitted, I think, 15 of these in total. So they are our kitchen cloths, and they hold up very well. And also with the 8-ply yarn, has some body to the fabric, so so we use them every single day. I will just continue knitting them sort of as in between projects, and also use them as gifts, or you know, if you for a hostess gift, or just a small appreciation of a good friend. Get a dishcloth, and it's just nice where you don't have to pay attention and just let your hands work. So that was third finished object and then a slight work in progress. Probably not much to talk about on those. When I look in the knitting journal for the month of June, I finished 4 objects and I knitted up 1,968 meters of yarn. That doesn't include the coivre. So in total I have 17 finished objects in 2021. There is actually one more finished object, and that is the secret project that I'm working on, and I will just show you just a tiny bit. It is a jacket, and it's worked in a DK weight. It's a beautiful color, and it's a secret. But that is finished. I had to do the sleeves a few times to make them work. I will tell you all about it when that's possible. Moving on to the what's on my needles, and basically that's a dishcloth that you just saw. I do have one project that I am planning on casting on tonight, so I'll just share that, and it's a sort of semi on the needles project. But I am planning on making myself a second rose hip shawl, and this time I will use slightly more sort of muted colors. Yeah. Again, in one of my bags, and inside, so the fabric inside is that is fabric that I find in op shops. It can be bed linen, yes, or other sort of remnants of fabric that I find, and I use that for the lining of these bags. There are pockets. See that? Pockets, or one pocket in most of them. I think this was the first one I made actually, and it doesn't have any stamps on it. Anyway, so the colors that I will be using for my rose hip shawl are these. I think this will be very, very pretty. I can't wait to cast on. And the yarns here, this is a coast yarn in color something, which I can't remember, but a sort of off-white type cream white color. This one is a beautiful hand-dyed yarn by Circus Tonic Handmade, I think. I have to pull out I hid or I hide and keep the labels in my ball of yarn. So it is a circus done, and now it will be ruined, but anyway. Circled single ply fingering, 100% superwash merino, and the color in this messy ball is Balle. I bought it some time ago and it's been sitting in my stash for a while. I just need to keep that separate. But it will go beautifully with this other hand-dyed yarn. And this is from a sock or yarn club from Louie and Lola yarns. This was the sock yarn from May. Beautiful. And this sock club is inspired by photographs of Tasmania. So this is from, you know, a beautiful photograph of a sunset on a beach. And this base is the BFL nylon fingering weight, 80% blue face Leicester, 20% nylon, 365 meters per 100 grams. And this colorway, which is a yarn club, I don't know whether she you know, dyes them up then when the yarn clubs ends in the shop as well, but it's called Sunset over Southern Tasmania. I opted for the yarn club that had, you know, a sock yarn with a mini skein as well. So this is the mini skein, so these two came together. So it's a nice brown, and of course I think I will add, or not of course, I will add that brown color in between as well for the row tip shawl. So hopefully next episode I will have done a fair bit so you can see how this turns out. So this will be on my needles tonight. I'm looking very much forward to that. I will keep you posted on how that's progressing. For that yarn club from Louie and Lola, I can show you the colorway from June, and it is here. Beautiful blue with a bit of lime and a bit of pinks, greenish lime in it, and with the mini of this beautiful rose colored yarn. Again, the BFL nylon mix, and this color is called Canola Skies. This will just sit in my stash for a while, and I can just go and touch and cuddle it for some times. This, I think, will be a pair of socks for me, with a bit of nice texture to them. I think I will find a pair in the 52 weeks of socks. So yarn club from Louie and Lola. I think the July color will arrive very soon. I'm looking forward to see what that is. It's very exciting just to open that package and not knowing what the color is. I love that. So that's, I think, the only purchase that I've made. I try to restrain myself not to jump on all the shop updates and the beautiful yarns out there. There's plenty in my stash. Finally, what I'm working on as well is the granny stripes blanket that I've shown a few times in the last few episodes. I haven't done much, but let's just see where the progress keeper were at the last episode and how far I've gotten in the last month. I try to do 10 minutes a day. I haven't done that in the last month though. So here it is. Not too impressive, huh? But that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. It's nice and cozy to work on during winter because you can just sit over the lab while you work and you are nice and warm. Now when I pull it out, I just feel like sitting here crocheting a bit. Oh, I just noticed a mistake. Here. Can you see the pattern is not correct here. But that's just that will be the unique feature of this this blanket. It is a free, pattern from Pearl Soho, granny stripes. And I'm probably 2/3 there for the length. But it's nice to have you guys as my accountability partners and just showing you the progress, and just showing it here makes me want to work on it. So I can highly recommend I can highly recommend that. Black Hill Highland is from garnosal.dk. This color is called Rullesten, and then I am holding that together with something that I bought many moons ago, machine yarn. It might be a cotton or it might be, I don't know, but I'm just holding it together with this one. Yeah. That is my knitting progress and crochet progress. Let's move into the celebration of episode number 30. So to celebrate that, let's have a giveaway. So the giveaway is one of my bags with these stamps from my grandmother, and then it's lined with this beautiful fabric. There is a pocket in here, and as for the other bags I've shown, it could sort of stand, and you can fold the top down, so it sits nicely next to your sofa. And then there is a sort of a tie, so you just tie it to close, and it carries a sweater project easily. And you can wear this. It's a long handle, so you can wear it over your shoulders. So there is a bag for you in the giveaway, and then in the giveaway there's also 100 grams of coast yarn in this beautiful pink, dark pink color. I can't remember the name of that color, but there will be 100 grams, and it is a light fingering weight, so you can match it up with a sock yarn you might have, or another sort of light fingering weight yarn, or pair it with a mohair if you want to do that. So a bag and yarn, and then there will be as well a pattern for you. So the rosehip pattern will be included. as a digital copy. I will keep this in for my knitting the shawl, but the giveaway is 100 gram that can be used in a rosehip shawl, so just add 2 more colors. So this is what you can win: 100 gram of coast yarn, a project bag, and the rosehip pattern. So to participate in the giveaway, I will run the giveaway here on YouTube. So write a comment below to participate, and please write why you knit. So what does that give you when you knit? So why do you knit or crochet or do any craft, so to speak? But write below why you knit, and you are in the draw if you are a subscriber as well. So that means that I will not respond to your comment over the next month. I will like them so you can see that I've seen them, but just to make the order and the number of comments correct, I will just send you a like or a heart so you can see that I've seen it and you are part of the draw of the giveaway. It will run until end of July, so there is still time to add your comments to be to get a chance to win. So I hope you will join me on that. I will be looking very much forward to seeing all your comments. I think that's it for today. At least that's all the knitting related content that I have for you today. I had planned on answering a question that I've gotten from one of your lovely viewers. It's actually a few months back, where one of you asked sort of what the story is about us as a family moving from Denmark to Sydney. I will do that in one of the next episodes, otherwise this will be too long. So I will tell you all about that, so stay tuned for that next few episodes. Life-wise, just coming back to some of you have also asked about my oldest son, about his travel to Denmark, and I can just say he is just having a great time, and especially with the European Championship in soccer, he is just having a ball, you know, being out and about with his friend and seeing the matches on, so they have big screens, and the Danes just gather around the team and they have a ball, and he is just so happy. So it's just a pleasure to see him just, you know, blossom. So he is absolutely well, and he's in his element at the moment. Of course, it's still holiday for him, so that's also contributing to his having a great time. And here my daughter completed her first semester exams on university. She worked hard, and all her exams she sat in her room, had she didn't have a sign, but we knew that from 9 o'clock to 11:30 she was having an exam, so we wouldn't enter her room. There are cameras on that they monitor the students, so they can test or can check that they don't cheat or have contacts, or somebody come in or somebody goes out or are on the phone checking and communicating with people. So there is this software, so they have to have their cameras on their computers, and then there is a back-end software just basically checking their movements, and with artificial intelligence, just if there are any signals of cheating, that will be flagged for the university to look at. So she had her last exam on the 26th of June, and after that she was just looked so much forward to just be playing Sims on her computer. So she's done that for a while, for a few days, and now she is we are preparing her room, finalizing her room downstairs. So she will move, I think today and the next few days. My youngest son will move into her room, and then there will be a room for me, and so I will make that my yarn room. Isn't that exciting? I don't know how many people have a yarn room, but that will be my, it will also be my office, but that's where I will have all my yarn. And in my mind, I have it all set up. Let's see in practice how fast we can pull that off, but I will keep you posted of those renovations. It needs to be repainted, and so I will hopefully get on to doing that next weekend or the weekend after. And then I will have shelves, cubes with yarn. I want to have a chair in there, a sitting chair, and a little table on the side for my coffee or tea, and the computer so I can watch YouTube videos. I will have my desk set up with screens, and I need to find a place for the yarn winder. I'm totally loving this. So I'll keep you posted on how the yarn room progresses. As I said, school holidays at the moment, so so everybody is home, and I think then it will, you know, the next week the kids will work on tidying up, and we would hopefully get and tidy up and finish up some things. Also, I have tickets for Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show in 2 weekends time, on the 16th to 18th of July. I haven't booked the flight yet, and I haven't booked any accommodation. I just need to follow the advice whether a Sydney-sider can get into Victoria due to the COVID situation. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next weekend or in 2 weekends time, I will be touching plenty of yarn, meeting up with dear friends from across Australia. But I haven't too much hope though that it can happen. So it will be last minute arrangements just to get you know, accommodation and flights booked. Fingers crossed we can go to see that. That's been on my bucket list for a few years now. I really want to go to experience that. So let's see, fingers crossed. I think we have come to an end for today. I will say thank you for stopping by. I hope you've had a great time and had some knitting done. Leave a comment, subscribe if you want to be part of the giveaway. Check out on the socials so we can reconnect there. I'm so happy to have you as my knitting friends and across the world. It's amazing the community that we have, so thank you so much. I am looking very much forward to seeing you next time, which will be at the end of July, early August. So enjoy your knitting, stay safe, stay happy, enjoy your summer, enjoy the winter, wherever you are. Bye bye.